Good evening. I'd like to welcome everyone to the February 12th, 2026 meeting of the Rutherford County Board of Commissioners, and I guess wish everyone a happy Valentine's Day. If you would stand with us, please, our Commission Chaplain Germayle McMurray will lead us in our prayer, and I believe he has some special guests for the pledge and a song. Commissioner McMurray.
The song is not from me. Let me make that clear. Good evening. Let's go to the word in prayer, please. Please bow your heads. Most gracious and all-wise God, we stand before you this evening just to give you thanks and reverence. We know that it's nobody but you that allows us to be here today. You are King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. Lord, we thank you for those who put their lives on the line to protect us every day. We are always forever grateful. We ask that you bless us and be with us in this meeting tonight. Let us do your will for your people. As always, we ask for guidance and wisdom in all of our decision making, not just this evening, but every day in every way. Lord, continue to allow us to be leaders who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. It's our actions that inspire others to do more, to learn more, and to become more. Lord, we know that this month is usually deemed Valentine's, the love month. So I ask that we continue to show love amongst ourselves, our family members, and our neighbors. Lord, increase the love in our hearts. We just want to say thank you for all your many blessings. I ask that you bless Rutherford County, the state of Tennessee, and the United States of America. It's in your name that we pray. Amen. Amen. All right. So now I'm going to have Mr. Asen Bowers, if you could come up here for me, please. So as you know, every year I have a pen pal that I write to. And so this is Asen. He is the vice president at Salem Elementary. So he's going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, okay? All right.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Three white stars on the field of blue, God keep you strong and ever true. It is with pride and love that we salute the flag of Tennessee.
Thank you, young man.
All righty, if you could continue standing, please. This evening we have a special treat. We're going to have the national anthem sung by Miss Chelsea Mays. Miss Chelsea is a local artist that sang in many sporting events, the Tennessee State Fairgrounds, and at her the church, First Baptist Church here in Murfreesboro. She's one of the choir directors at the Middle Tennessee Gospel College Choir, and in her spare time, she's a licensed cosmetologist, which I don't think I need. But I would like for you to welcome Miss Chelsea as she sings the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave, the brave.
Thank you. You may be seated. This time I'll ask our Rutherford County Clerk, Lisa Crowell, to call the roll. Lisa, please.
Commissioner Oliver,
Present.
Commissioner Piercy,
Here.
Commissioner Hall,
Here.
Commissioner P,
Here.
Commissioner Davison, Commissioner Beverly,
Here.
Commissioner Cush,
Present.
Commissioner Reed,
Here.
Commissioner James,
Here.
Commissioner Wilson,
Here.
Commissioner Anthony Johnson,
Present.
Commissioner Boyd,
Here.
Commissioner Paul Johnson,
Here.
Commissioner Irvin, Commissioner Harris, Commissioner Dodd,
Here.
Chairman Phillips,
Present.
Commissioner McAdoo, Commissioner McMurray,
Here.
Commissioner Gooch,
Here.
Commissioner Sereno.
Yeah.
We have a quorum, 21 present.
Thank you, Lisa. This time, I'll call on our Chairman Pro Tem Trey Gooch for the reading of our January minutes, and I believe we have two, the 15th and the 22nd.
Yes, we do, Mr. Chair. I have read and studied the January 15th minutes and the 22nd. I find them to be in order. My motion is to dispense with the reading and approve them as presented.
Second.
A motion and a second to approve the January 15th and 22nd meeting minutes. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposition? Motion to approve carries. Thank you. The next two items on our list are pretty special, and I'm going to call on Commissioner Hope Oliver for the first resolution of recognition. Commissioner Oliver.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good evening. Black History Month recognizes the achievements and resilience and contributions of Black Americans who have shaped society through leadership, innovation, and the pursuit of justice. Now, those of you that know me, you know that if I have something to say, if I have a concern, I will ask it, not just to anyone, but to those that it directly impacts. And yes, I did question having our Black History celebration tonight along with recognizing law enforcement. But what it did do is it caused me to reflect. And what I found as a thoughtful parallel between Black History Month and the police can focus on shared themes of service, sacrifice, progress, and community impact. With that, I do acknowledge our law enforcement professionals, as well as the African American leaders and entrepreneurs that we are about to honor. So if I could have Germayle and Mylikia Franklin please step forward. Ooh, this is some little bitty writing. That's what 60 will do for you. Whereas the celebration of Black History Month is a positive way of recognizing the culture and history of African Americans as vital to the core beliefs and values of our society. And whereas the contributions of African Americans have been vital to the growth and development of Rutherford County, Tennessee. And with this, the Rutherford County Mayor and Board of Commissioners would like to recognize Germayle and Mylikia, Franklin for their contributions to Rutherford County, Tennessee. And whereas Germayle and Mylikia Franklin are dynamic entrepreneurs and community leaders rooted in disciplined service with deep commitment to strengthening local communities. And whereas while attending Middle Tennessee State University, Germayle began brewing fruit tea in his apartment kitchen. In 2017, he and his wife, Mylikia, founded Franklin's Fruit Tea, an award-winning artisan beverage brand that is retailed throughout and across Tennessee. Most recently, Franklin's Fruit Tea was selected as a top 6 finalist in the 2025 Black Ambition Prize competition, founded by Grammy Award-winning artist and entrepreneur Pharrell Williams. And whereas in 2019, the Franklins founded Black Culture Connect, a 501c3 nonprofit organization dedicated to supporting Black-owned businesses, fostering community connection, and expanding across resources for underserved entrepreneurs by supporting inclusion, collaboration, and small business development. They have had major community initiatives, including the Black Murfreesboro Market, Friday Night Market in the Borough, Small Business Saturday Holiday Market, and the Murfreesboro Hot Chicken Festival, which I judged a couple times. Good. Whereas, in recognition of their leadership and service, Germayle and Mylikia Franklin have been nominated for and recipients of countless prestigious awards. And therefore, be it resolved that in recognition of Black History Month 2026, the Rutherford County Mayor and Board of Commissioners express their great appreciation for the outstanding contributions made by Germayle and Mylikia Franklin to the citizens and youth of Rutherford County, Tennessee. And be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be entered permanently into the archives of the 2026 Rutherford County Board of Commissioners. Signed this day, the 12th day of February, 2026. Mr. Chairman, I so move.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Thank you.
Do y'all have anybody taking pictures of you? You want the picture up here?
Romeo.
Yes.
You're here.
Come on. Got it?
Thank you.
Thank you.
One more. For this resolution of recognition, I'll call on Commissioner Romel McMurray. Top that.
At this time, I'm going to call up Pastor Shawn and Lady Keita Moses. And while they're coming, commissioners, if you remember 2 years ago, the Franklin's fruit tea that was provided to us was due to the Franklins back there. So, and just a quick plug, it's sold at Kroger's. Kroger. Sorry, there we go. All righty. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Resolution honoring Pastor Shawn and Lady Keita Moses for extraordinary service and leadership in Rutherford County, Tennessee. Whereas the celebration of Black History Month is a positive way of recognizing the culture and history of African Americans as vital to the core beliefs and core values of our society. And whereas the contributions of African Americans have been vital to the growth and development of Rutherford County, Tennessee, and with this, the Rutherford County Mayor and Board of Commissioners would like to recognize Pastor Shawn and Lady Keita Moses for their contributions to Rutherford County, Tennessee. And whereas Pastor Shawn and Lady Keita Moses are most definitely one. They are truly servants of the Most High God. They are the parents of 3 young men, Germayle, wife Caitlin, and granddaughter Natalie, and sons Jordan and Joshua. And whereas Pastor Shawn and Lady Keita Moses are the founders and senior pastors for 24 years at True Victory Outreach Church Ministries, Incorporated, here in Murfreesboro. Whereas Pastor Shawn is bivocational, along with pastoring, he is also a master barber of 35 years here in Murfreesboro. I should tell them a story about that. He will not cut my hair, by the way. So. Lady Keita is a real estate agent with John Jones Agency and was featured as the leading lady in Murfreesboro VIP magazine in 2024. And whereas Pastor Shawn and Lady Keita, they own and manage not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 local barbershops and 2 salons. 3 times each year, all four shops, they and their fellow barbers offer free haircuts to the youth of our city. Their motto is, "It's not about us, it just involves us." Whereas Pastor Shawn and Lady Keita both receive honorary doctorates in theology and the 2023 NAACP Humanitarian Award. They love Murfreesboro and they exemplify it by serving at any capacity when called upon, whether it be at Patterson Park Community Center, the student body at MTSU, running a free food and clothes closet, serving at the juvenile and adult detention centers, the Rutherford County school systems, or serving on the advisory board at Laverne High. And therefore, be it resolved that in recognition of Black History Month 2026, the Rutherford County Mayor, Joe Carr, and Board of Commissioners express their great appreciation for the outstanding contributions made by Pastor Shawn and Lady Keita Moses to the citizens and youth of Rutherford County, Tennessee. And be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be permanently entered into the archives of the 2026 Rutherford County Board of Commissioners. Signed this 12th day of February 2026. Mr. Chairman, I so move.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Now, he's a pastor, so I told him he could do a sermon tonight. Come on. You want to say a few words? You're good? Okay. I promise he talks at the barbershop, so.
Item I, we have one last resolution of recognition, and I'll call on Commissioners Paul Johnson and Alan McAdoo.
Thank you. Ms. Frankie Johnson, would you please meet us up here? Okay, there you go. Stand right here, please, ma'am. Okay.
Well,
This is Ms. Frankie Johnson. She is my constituent of the 13th district. Okay, so I'm just a little bit camera shy, so I asked Mr. McAdoo to read this resolution due to the fact that she's been there 20 years on community care, and they served together, and he is chairman of the Property Management Committee, and that purview of, we're responsible for the building out there. So, like I said, I'm a little bit camera shy. So, but anyway, I've been serving as a representative from the commission a little over 3 years. All right, so I had the fortune to sit between Frankie and Faye Elam, and they keep me in line. Okay. So I'm the ninth of 9 children. I have a 90-year-old sister still alive in Dunlap, Tennessee. I don't get to see her very much. So anyway, Faye and Frankie, they just took me under their wing. And so I asked permission if she wouldn't be offended if I called her sis. And she said no. So 2 things. She's a sister in Christ with me, and her last name is Johnson. So we Johnsons stick together. Okay, so Mr. McAdoo, it's yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Also, Ms. Johnson worked for the county for several years in the finance department before retiring, I think approximately 30 years. And when I saw her tonight, the first thing I asked her, was she up here to bring us some of our money back? And she said, she smiled and said no. Also, Sister Johnson is a lady that I don't even believe no is in her vocabulary, because during that time when we asked her to get on that board, we were having all kinds of problems out there. And with her expertise in finance, she really was a big help on that nursing home board. Whereas community care of Rutherford County and the Rutherford County Board of Commissioners should recognize and celebrate those individuals who made a profound impact on the people and communities of Rutherford County. And whereas Ms. Frankie Johnson has served on the Community Care of Rutherford County Board of Directors for 20 years with dedication and distinction, and whereas during her years on the Board of Directors, she fostered a culture of collaboration, professionalism, and respect within community care of Rutherford, elevating morals and setting an example of servant leadership while making decisions to protect our most precious group of citizens. And now, therefore, be it resolved by the Rutherford County Board of Commissioners at its regular session on the 12th day of February 2026, does hereby extend sincere appreciation and recognition for Ms. Frankie Johnson for her dedicated service to community care of Rutherford. Be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution of recognition be forwarded to Ms. Frankie Johnson by the clerk of this legislative body. Resolved this 12th day of February 2026, and I so move.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Thank you.
I have one more addendum. I am a fortunate man. My wife of 60 years, I married a PK, that's a preacher's kid. She is not one violence jealous of me and Frankie Johnson. So, Frankie, it's yours.
Yes, I would just like to say thank you. I would like to recognize my family. You all will stand. My sister, my grandson, and my daughter. And there's another lady I would like to recognize tonight. When I was 18 and started to work for the county, I worked with 2 young ladies. They were just awesome. They took me under their wings and they showed me what to do. One was Margaret Bugg, she's no longer with us, and the other one was Faye Elam. And Faye and I have stayed close this whole time, and there's nothing just like having a true friend that's there for you. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful for my parents because my upbringing, my mom always said, go to work, keep your mouth closed, and do your job. So I've tried to do that, and it's just been an awesome journey. And most of all, I thank God. And I think of the words from the song from C.C. Winans, The Goodness of God. All my life, God has been faithful. He's been so good. And with every breath that I'm able, I will sing of the goodness of God.
All right. Will Miss Phelan come up front? Miss Phelan, will you stand up? Miss Phelan, stand up. Go get Miss Phelan up here also. Come right here. Come on and get in here.
I hope I don't break the camera.
You won't.
Now hold this up in front of you. There you go.
Okay, excuse me. I'm not really this bashful. Okay, one more and then. I know you're familiar with the King James Version Bible. Luke 12:48 is one of my favorite verses. It reads, of those to whom much is given, much is required. I'm trying to catch up.
Once again, a special thank you tonight for the Franklins, the Moses, and Miss Johnson. Thank you for all you do for Rutherford County. Item J, resolution of recognition and appreciation for the Rutherford County Sheriff's Department, the cities of Murfreesboro, Smyrna, Laverne, and Eagleville Police Department. For this recognition, I'll call on our County Mayor Joe Carr and our Commission Chairman Pro Tem Trey Gooch.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And thank you, Commissioner Oliver, earlier for your gracious remarks regarding Black History Month and how Black History Month and law enforcement share some very common things that are so important to the fabric of our community. And as you were sharing those remarks, and the pastor was back there speaking, this body seems to break out in Scripture, which I think is a good thing. And as I stand up here and reflect on the importance of this month for our community and the importance of law enforcement in our community, the two are irrevocably intertwined. And I was mindful as Pastor was back there, I told him, I said, every time we have a pastor come in here, we break out. And so I have one scripture I do want to share, and it's Micah 6:8. And Micah's crying out to God, what would you have me do? And I think this benefits all of us. And he said, I'll tell you, seek justice, love mercy, and walk in humility. And I think that's a great charge, especially this time of month for all of us, and especially for our law enforcement officers all over the county that do such a fantastic job. And so what I would like to do is at this point, with permission, is I would like the representatives from the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office, if they'll come up, please. And when you come up, that means now. That means Sheriff Fitzhugh, bring your team up, please, you or your team. And I would ask when you come up, please introduce yourself And then I would ask that the city of Murfreesboro come up and introduce themselves, the city of Smyrna, Laverne, and Eagleville, please. I'm sorry? Please, each one, if you would introduce yourself. Thank you. And then we'll begin.
I'm Mike Fitzhugh.
Keith Lowry.
Brian Harbaugh.
Curtis Little.
Chris Kaufman.
Steve Spence. Kerry Gensimer. Michael Bowen.
Jeff Dwyer. Dave Brenizer.
Chris Mason.
Sheree Robertson. Emily Dutton.
Is that everybody? Not quite. So now I would like to ask Commissioner Beverly, Commissioner Hall, and Commissioner Johnston to please join us. Commissioner Beverly is currently with the Smyrna Police Department. Commissioner Hall is a retired detective with the Police Department, Smyrna Police Department, and Commissioner Johnson is retired THP Colonel. Commissioner Johnson, please come forward. Commissioner Gooch.
Thank you so much.
Am I under house arrest?
Yes. Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor, Chairman, colleagues. Before I present the resolution, I have a prose that I would like to read by Richard White. The Policeman's Fight is by Richard White, who has 10 years of law enforcement experience in the greater Houston area. He wanted to write a poem that would give outsiders and insiders perspective of the hardships faced and sacrifices made by local law enforcement officers, with the ultimate goal to create awareness and appreciation for what police officers do. The Policeman's Fight by Richard White. I am a policeman, and this is my fight. As I tuck my family in and kiss them goodnight, I take one last look, drawing everything in, for I'm not sure if I will see them again. I put on my uniform and strap on my vest. I prepare for the worst and hope for the best. I affix my gun belt and make sure all is secure. I say one final prayer for St. Michael to hear. According to the book of Matthew, blessed are those who keep the peace. I confront evil every day. Just read your local press release. For I am a sheepdog. I protect the flock of the sheep against a pack of wolves that harass them when they sleep. I embark on my shift, so much work to be done, writing reports and citations, chasing a felon with a gun. For each night is different, get to experience something new, have to stay mentally prepared for each crime that I pursue. The things I have seen would surpass your worst nightmare. Some things are too horrific and too graphic for me to share. The sheer evil that exists is far from in decline. Just be glad there are a select few who put their lives on the line. Because the only thing required for evil in this world to win is for good men to do nothing, which is a far greater sin. Yet this responsibility comes at a great sacrifice. There's a permanent target on my back. Some of us paid the ultimate sacrifice. I lost good friends, sad memories from the past, victims of divorce, corruption, and their families being harassed. Accidents, suicide, depression, and PTSD. I thank God every day these things have not happened to me. Sure, we have our share of corruption, but it pales in comparison to attorneys, the athletes, the financiers, and politicians. The numbers speak for themselves. The research is overdone. Less than 0.5% will disgrace our badge and gun. So be cautious and careful of the stories on TV that paint a negative picture of my brothers, sisters, and me. For we ride the thin blue line, making the life and death choices every day. My split-second decisions will be criticized in every way. But until you walk in my shoes and see what I've seen, you can't possibly imagine the stress on my scene. Although we're in a pedestal, we are people just like you. On the outside, we may bleed red, but deep down, we bleed blue. At last, it's the end of my shift. Finally, time to get some sleep. I need 4 hours to maintain my upkeep. With all of my overtime wearing my body thin, drowsy and tired, I still hold up my chin. I walk into each bedroom and kiss my family goodnight. So thankful to God that I've survived another night. With all the controversy and assumptions, you may not like what I do, but at the end of the day, I will lay down my life for you. Whereas the Rutherford County is fortunate to have dedicated and committed officers of the Rutherford County Sheriff's Department and the cities of Murfreesboro, Smyrna, Laverne, and Eagleville Police Departments. And whereas our officers put their lives on the line each day while safeguarding and protecting the citizens of Rutherford County, and whereas our officers perform stressful, demeaning job duties to the benefit of all Rutherford County citizens in need of 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 12 months each year. And where it is appropriate at this time to recognize the value and importance of the duties of police officers performed day in and day out to all citizens of Rutherford County, and to thank our many officers that selfishly risk their lives to serve and protect all citizens. Now therefore be it resolved by the Rutherford County Board of Commissioners and the County Mayor that we hereby recognize and extend this resolution of recognition and sincere appreciation to the Rutherford County Sheriff's Department and the cities of Murfreesboro, Smyrna, Laverne, and Eagleville Police Departments for their bravery and outstanding performance in caring for and protecting all citizens of Rutherford County, Tennessee, resolved this 12th day of February, 2026, and I so move, Mr. Chair.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Thank you.
So one little thing. We are honored to have with us tonight in the audience my colleagues, Mayor Jason Cole from Laverne. Would you please stand, please? Thank you for being here tonight. Mayor Chad Lehman from the City of Eagle, thank you for being here tonight. And my fellow manager from Murfreesboro, Darren Gore. Darren, please stand. Thank you for being here. Thank you, gentlemen. This is very important. We honor those, and you honor us. Thank you. Thank you, Governor.
It's 6:30, past time for our public hearings, and we'll skip down to item O on our agenda, once again for our public hearings, and I'll call on our Planning Director, Doug DeMasi.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good evening, everyone. We have one public hearing for your consideration tonight. This is by Our Church Ministries Incorporated. This is located at 6742 and 6752 Old Nashville Highway. Existing zoning is commercial service and residential medium density. Proposed zoning is commercial general on approximately 8 acres. The applicant would like to use the existing shop on the property at 6752 Old Nashville Highway for repairing vehicles, but would also like to have the ability to store and sell cars from the property. Description on their application, I won't read this all verbatim, but it states that mechanics on a mission, they buy cars, complete repairs, and donate them to veterans, single mothers, and other peoples in need. Motor vehicle repair activities are allowed in the commercial service district, the CS district. However, if you want to sell cars, you have to have commercial general. So that is why they're asking for the rezoning. There is a concept plan showing their intent on developing this property is included on your iPads. This is not a planned development, so they're not bound by this plan, but this should give you an idea again as to how they would like to move forward. The concept plan shows the existing garage on the property, a proposed parking area, and also some areas for future car storage. They plan to focus on 6752 Old Nashville Highway, which is the smaller of the two properties, and over time, possibly expand onto 6742, which is, again, the larger of the two. There are some existing residential units on the larger property, which the applicant does plan to continue to use. Should the zoning of this be changed, these units would just become non-conforming uses, and they would be able to continue using, provided they meet the requirements of state law and our zoning ordinance as well. Of course, this property will continue to have access on Old Nashville Highway. You'll see a concept plan that shows paved parking on the smaller of the two properties, 6752, as well as a future graveled storage area on 6742. We have advised the applicant that any kind of car storage must be on a paved surface. They have acknowledged that. Again, this is going to be for later in the development project. They also discussed the possibility of maybe pursuing a planned development type application at some point in the future. Regardless of how they proceed, an engineered site plan would be required prior to the development of the site. They would have to demonstrate proper access, landscaping, screening, and also our performance standards. Prior to the public hearing, the commission did have some questions about buffering and screening. We did outline what those requirements would be and on what property lines. There was also some discussion on the condition of the property. You'll notice on the aerial photos in the application staff report that there's a lot of material on those sites. The staff explained that the property has been cleaned up. Our building codes director did confirm that as well. They had bought the property last year and proceeded to clean up all the property, so those pictures that you have are dated. During the public hearing, the applicant, Mr. Brian Sweat, did speak about the ministry. There were no other speakers during the public hearing. Following the public hearing, a motion was made to recommend approval of this request by a unanimous vote. So I'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Any questions for staff or Mr. DeMasi? Seeing none, I'll declare the public hearing open for item REZ 26-001, Our Church Ministries. Anyone wishing to speak for or against this rezoning request, please come forward.
Thank you so much. My name is Brian Sweat, and I am the Executive Director of Mechanics on a Mission, which DBAs out of Our Church Ministries, a small church of about 30 people. When we started this, we thought we'd give away maybe 10 cars. In 2025, we gave away 100 cars, did over 250 repairs to military vets, widows, single moms and dads, and those in our community battling transportation and security. The property that we purchased, as you know, was pretty much a junkyard. We've cleaned all it up. We're going to take it and make it something that our community can be super proud of, and that'll really give that life-changing gift to transportation to so many that are out there in desperate need. We do this through referrals from nonprofits, charities, ministries, organizations, and churches, so they help us vet the situation, know it's a real need. We're first cars only. In other words, they have no other type of transportation. And so I just wanted you to become familiar with us. We try to fly under the radar a little bit because we've had so many requests so quickly. We've exploded in our growth to show that there's a huge gap of service and transportation. And unfortunately, our public transportation isn't as robust as we'd probably like it to be. And so I just wanted everyone to be clear on who we are, Mechanics on a Mission, and look forward to growing with our community. And we're glad that our home's right here in Rutherford County. Thank you so much.
You. Anyone else wishing to speak? Seeing no one, I'll declare the public hearing closed. Commissioner Hall.
I proudly move for approval with this with staff comments.
We have a motion and a second to approve rezoning request REZ 26-001 for Our Church Ministries. Questions or comments? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposition? Motion to approve carries. Thank you. Mr. Demasi?
That's all I have. Thank you.
We'll get back to our agenda, and it's time for our public hearings. Let me make a quick announcement, if that's okay with you guys. We've had 16 individuals to show up. We'll try to divide that out, which would mean each individual would have less than 2 minutes. But without objection, I would like to allow 2 minutes for each of the individuals. Once again, if you, when I call your name, I'll call the person who's on deck, and so the next person get ready to speak so we can get through this in the 30-minute allotted time period, okay? Everybody understand? 2 minutes. First on the list is Elaine Williams, and her topic is the Highway Department Private Act, I believe. Ms. Williams, if you would, state your name. Since there's been some objections to address, if you would, verify that you're a Rutherford County resident and what district you live in, if you know it.
My name is Commissioner Elaine Williams. I am a Rutherford County resident, and I'm in District 15, I believe. I'm here to speak about the Private Act. I made some edits to some proposed edits to the Private Act, which were omitted intentionally, and I think that is unjust. All of you all have packets from me. If you have not had an opportunity to review that, I respectfully ask that you would please review that to see facts that support what I am stating. It is, as a career financial professional, most of my edits were financial related. It is my sincere desire that our constituents have transparency with road board information, which they have none. It is also my sincere intention in making those edits that road board commissioners' financial responsibilities would be clearly updated in the Private Act, which is what was omitted. Thank you for your time.
Next is Keith Bratcher, and on deck is David Victory. Both of those topics are, once again, the Private Act for the Highway Department.
My name is Keith Bratcher. I live at 210 Remington Drive, Lascassas, Tennessee. I'm a highway commissioner. I'm speaking on the topic that's going to come up in steering later on down in your agenda. What she's talking about, referring to this, we were doing some changes to the Private Act. Some of it need to be, some language need to be cleaned up. We added to, took away. We met in our meetings for several months, several months, almost a year. We had Mr. Christensen, county attorney, came in and helped us with this, brought us back all the things that we talked about, we need to change. He brought back a draft. We voted on it, passed it. And so I'm here to support the changes in the Private Act and what Mr. Christensen brought to us. And again, some of y'all may be tired of seeing me. I was here, your different committee process all last week, speaking in favor of this. And again, I want to reiterate about the Rutherford County Highway Department. You have a very good department out there. The men and women out there work very hard every day to provide a good service for this county. So they are second to none. So, I want to reiterate that. So we have a very good department working hard for the citizens of Rutherford County every day. Thank you.
Next up is David Victory, and on deck is Carson Boland.
Mr. Chairman, County Commissioners, thank you for your time. I'm David Rabbit Victory. I live at 509 Mary Street, Smyrna, Tennessee. I represent District 1, Zones 5, 11, and 12 on the Rutherford County Road Board. Commissioners, I'm here tonight asking that you, as did the steering, Public Works, and Budget Committees, give their approval to the changes of the private acts related to the Highway Department and Commission, as will be presented to you by the Steering Committee Chairman, Craig Harris. Thank you again for your busy time.
Thank you, sir. Once again, next up is Carson Boland, and on deck is Josh Walker.
My name is Carson. I am a citizen of Rutherford, and my district is 21.
Thank you.
I want 287G canceled, and I want ICE out of our community. I want to introduce you to an American hero. My older brother, Zachary Boland, at 8 years old, knew exactly who he wanted to be. He wanted to be a Marine more than anything in life. He wanted to be a paratrooper. He wanted to go directly into enemy lines. He wanted to fight for our country. He wanted that more than anything in his life. Unfortunately, when he went to basic training, he did pass. He did inspire my two younger brothers, not my older brother and my one younger brother. My older brother is now an EOD tech from the Marine Corps, and my youngest brother is going into the Navy, which my mom much prefers. And I bring him up because my own family immigrated here, much like anyone in America, but my grandma, she came from Sweden, and she was not the kind of immigrant people say they want in this country. She was poor and she was directionless in life. She needed a way out, and she came to America for that way out. ICE would have taken one look at her and gotten her out of this country. If that happened, those two American heroes never would have existed. My brothers are willing to put their lives at stake for this country. I feel the least we can do is make this a country worth dying for. I ask that we end the 287G agreement so that we don't lose the potential and our future heroes in America. I see the rest of my time. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Josh Walker. The topic is the library board. And on deck is Pamela Jones. Yes.
Okay, making sure. Good evening. I'm here again. I came back in December. I'm here again because the chairman of our library board is still violating his fiduciary duty. He's continuing with counterfactual and a personal agenda of book banning that's going to get the library sued, and as one of the funding bodies, the county is going to end up paying for it. Us, the taxpayer, will pay for it. They're continuing to use the activist organization, the American Center for Law and Justice, which is incorrectly named. And when I was last here, I mentioned this organization wants to get government bodies sued. They want the government bodies to break the law so that they can try and sue up to the Supreme Court and get the legal precedent changed. They don't have any regard for the effects this will have on us as citizens. They literally want us to break the law, because as it is right now, the actions of banning the books is illegal. And the library system and the citizens will not be paying all the fines, fees, judgments, and other costs that will be included in that. It literally says so in the ACLJ documentation that we will be responsible for that. Again, as I mentioned last time, Murfreesboro City got sued for for banning Pride, violating those civil rights, and had to pay $750,000. And that was just the judgment. Along with Mr. York, there's a 7-member majority that is also violating this fiduciary duty. It's not a matter of if we get sued, it's a matter of when. I am grateful for the 3 board members who have been pushing back. So I would like to request that this commission remove Cody York from the library board. The board is there for administration. It's not here to fight misguided ideological battles that are not based on fact, which I have explained to him many, many times, but he continues to ignore. So I would ask you, please fire Cody York.
Mr. Walker, would you confirm your residency or district member? No, it's okay. Did you get that? District 20, thank you. Next up is Pamela Jones. Her topic is ethics, and on deck is Jacob Jones.
Hello. I had a speech written out, but considering the limit on time, I think I'll just speak off the cuff. I usually come here to address the commissioners before me and their face-down compliance towards violent fascism, but I'd like to address you. I've been coming here for months asking them to do something, anything about the fact that our sheriff lied, that he even signed a new agreement with ICE. He came up here, lied in front of all of us, lied to them, and nothing has been done about it. I've mostly been getting belly aching in return because of it. My own commissioner yelling at me in the middle of my public comment in December. Bear with me, by the way, I have a cold. And I just don't know what to really do about it, except, I guess, encourage you to vote them out. There are commissioners running for county commission who want to be commissioners this year, and they are for multiple seats here. I know in District 20, my own, District 21, District 16. So what do you do when the people in front of you don't care? They tell you it's not their problem. It's disrespectful to keep bringing it up to them. What do you do? Like I said, you vote them out. These people do not care about you. These good old boys, they're not more qualified than you. Okay? If you even feel like you have the ability to do it, please run. If no one is running in your district, please run. We need change, and these people will not do it. The majority of these people will not do it. That's all I really have to say. Thank you.
Next up is Jacob Jones. Topic is 287G, and on deck is Violet Walford. Mr. Jones, would you verify?
My name is Jacob Jones. I'm a Rutherford County resident. I live in District 20. We've been coming up here for 6 months to get the county out of the 287G agreement, and it looks like that the state is going to swoop in and save you from your moral responsibility because they're going to make it law that everyone has to be in these 287G agreements. But for 6 months, you've shown us who you are. When masked men come to the people and they take people out of their homes, they take people out of their schools, their churches, when they rip people out of their still running cars and they disappear them, they will be standing side by side, shoulder to shoulder with the Rutherford County Sheriff's Department. When people get picked up for the civil offense of being undocumented or merely the crime of being brown and having an accent, this county commission will do nothing. They will not speak a word of protest in your defense. They will not come to get you as you are charted off to a concentration camp in Texas or Louisiana. They'll sit and wait for a payout from the federal government. That is not coming because you were promised it by a man who is famous for not paying his bills, the President of the United States. They'll hand over resources to the most well-funded law enforcement agency on planet Earth because they clearly don't have enough. They need our jails. They need to deputize our sheriff's department. They need more space. I've only lived here for 3 years, and in the past 6 months of coming and talking to here, I've met dozens of people that have lived here for decades that have been silent. They don't believe that the system can help them. They don't believe it's for them, and they're starting to move. They're starting to speak up, and they're starting to get organized. People all over are starting to realize what's going on, and they're waking up. And I just want to say to this county commission, thank you. Thank you for encouraging civil participation by your terrible governance, by your contempt, by your callousness, by your disregard for the equal protection of all under the law. I look forward to having everyone come out and vote this August. Thank you.
Next up is Violet Walford. The topic is 287G. And on deck is Amanda Hernandez. Thank you.
My name is Violet. I live in District 2. I'm a Rutherford County resident. I've lived here my whole life. Good evening. I stand before you again to urge you all to restrict the funds to the Rutherford County Police Department. Our Sheriff, Mike Fitzhugh, signed on to 287G, and Rutherford County residents want nothing to do with ICE in our community. We want nothing to do with these masked perpetrators terrorizing our immigrant community. He has the option to withdraw at any time, but he hasn't. He's sitting back, lining his pockets, watching it all go down. According to the D&J, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Department has released 463 inmates to federal immigration officers over the last 13 months. Where are these people going? How many families separated, lives lost, and people missing will it take for you to listen? I have another topic. It's about the very end of these meetings, the chairperson of each committee stands and is asked to share a report, but tell me why at most of these meetings, no one is giving a report. So I might sound kind of dumb for saying this, but what do you guys do? What are you guys voting on? What proposals are you bringing forth? Public Safety Committee, no report. And I will say, ICE in our community is a public safety issue. Health and Education Committee, no report. Property Management Committee, no report. No report for Public Works. Harris has some resolutions for us. Great job, you did your work. Yeah, I just need more transparency from y'all. And that's my time, thanks.
Next up is Amanda Hernandez. Topic is public safety, and on deck is Nadiva Gerard.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Amanda Hernandez, and I am a Rutherford County resident, and I live in District 9. Normally, I'm up here talking to you specifically about 287G. But let me tell you a little bit about how my week has gone. I have been at the Capitol Hill all week. I have been sitting in on hearings. I have been talking with representatives. And when I say it no longer scares me to be up at this podium, I mean it, especially after being up there. But I wanted to talk to you a little bit about some personal experiences that I've had with 287G and the safety in this county. I accompanied a woman, now this was in Nashville, I will state that. I accompanied a woman to her regularly scheduled ICE check-in. When I tell you that she was terrified, that she was holding her breath, despite being there doing the right thing, I mean that. I held her hand, and then at the same time, they had brought in a bus of people that they had brought from another county for mostly traffic violations. These gentlemen came in. These gentlemen came in mocking and making fun of the people that they brought in. They came in cutting it up and making fun of the protesters who were outside. Another gentleman came in, recognized me from outside, and elbowed him in the side. And when he did that, I'm going to be very careful about how I phrase this, because I do not want to say exactly what was said. He elbowed him in the side, and then the gentleman responded, "What? These N slurs, S slurs can't understand a thing I am saying." So when we are saying we are afraid, I need you to understand that that is why. Thank you.
Next up is Nadiva Gerard. Topic is 287G, and on deck is Christine Jensen.
Hello, my name is Nadiva Gerard. I am a Rutherford County citizen, and I am in District 19. In Tennessee, it takes an average of 14 months, or 56 weeks, to get a cosmetology license. It takes 14 months of training to cut and color hair. The current ICE training program lasts 13 weeks. You could go through ICE training 4 times before spending enough time to get a cosmetology license. It takes 4 times longer to get a license to cut hair than it does to deport someone. So far, in 2026, 6 different people have died in ICE custody. And in 2025, 32 different people died in ICE custody. These aren't just numbers, these are the lives of real people. According to the Marist Poll's interviews conducted from January 27th through January 30th of 2026, 65% of surveyed individuals believed that ICE had gone too far in enforcing immigration laws. This percentage keeps on rising as ICE keeps showing disorderly conduct and an inability to keep people safe. As a member of Rutherford County, I do not feel safe with ICE here. And more so, I do not feel right with ICE training officers under the 28G program to perform immigration enforcement duties. We are all born on this land, and we will all return to it regardless of what border we were born on, the color of our skin, or what belief system we have. We are all humans who deserve respect and dignity, and the actions of ICE have proved to go against that. I choose to end my statement with a quote from Leviticus chapter 19, verses 33 and 34, and hope that you will reflect on the consequences of this program. When a stranger sojourns with you in your land, you shall not do him wrong. You shall treat the stranger who sojourns with you as the native among you, and you shall love him as yourself, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt.
Next up is Christine Jensen, Officer ICE. And deck is Alex Sager.
My name is Christine, and I live in Rutherford County. Good evening, commissioners. You already know what 28.7G is. The question is whether you know what it does to a community's soul. It conditions a mother to fear the siren instead of trust it, if she ever did. It conditions a witness to look away instead of step forward. It conditions a child to see that badge on the shoulder is not protection but a threat. And it reminds us that we never truly trusted the police in the first place because they were once slave patrols, enforcing bondage, not protecting all of us, and this only drives that truth home. It's not public safety, it's public fracture. Study after study, including research from the American Immigration Council, shows us the same truth. When local police are entangled with U.S. immigration customs enforcement, trust erodes, communities withdraw, and the very people you swear are here to protect us only deepen that fear. And let us speak plainly about stewardship. This program drags local dollars into federal work and invites lawsuits. It exposes the county to liability for unlawful detentions. That's not the fiscal conservatism you love so much. That's reckless governance dressed up as public safety. Commissioners, you were not elected to outsource conscience. You were not elected to turn deputies into deportation agents. You were elected to safeguard the peace, the whole peace, for every person who lives here. And just so you know, because you seem to be confused, public safety is built on trust. Trust is built on legitimacy, and legitimacy cannot coexist with fear. If you want moral authority you lack, do not trade it for the memorandum of agreement. And 28.7G.
Next up is Alex Sager, topic is 287G. On deck is Brad Leiter.
Thank you. Good evening. I've lived here for just shy of 10 years. My name's Alex Sager. I live in Commissioner Dodd's District 16. I'm here to demand that the Rutherford County Sheriff's Department end its agreement with ICE. I ask that each commissioner release some sort of public statement on where they stand with regards to ICE and ICE operations over these past months. Thank you, Commissioner Oliver, for speaking up. We deserve transparency. We deserve to know explicitly where our elected officials stand on 287G because it's a county agreement that affects the general public. It affects people I love and care about who have to carry their passports to go to the grocery store. It's influencing behavior and is a cause of fear and division in Rutherford County. You're supposed to serve your constituents and act in the best interest of the people in your districts. Are you doing that? And who has your ear? Are you in community with hourly wage workers or like the people actually affected by ICE or protesting ICE? Do you know us? Because it just seems you do not. I'm willing to talk, get to know us. Are you only concerned about what the authoritarian in the White House has to say? Because that narcissistic authoritarian in the White House is the exact type of leader that Mary, Jesus, and Joseph from the Bible fled in their time. He's the type of leader who made them refugees. The same type of refugees we're seeing being demonized and racially profiled and terrorized by ICE right now. Sheriff Fitzhugh and commissioners, if you care about the Black and brown and immigrant communities in Rutherford County, the people in Rutherford County, you will end this agreement tonight. And Sheriff Fitzhugh, you can't separate yourself ethically or morally from the actions of DHS while willfully signing on to a new agreement with DHS. You are complicit. End the agreement.
Next up is Aaron Kindletter. Topic is 287G. And then Jack is Alan Kamaletan.
Smyrna resident, District 12, everybody. My point is that Tennessee's got a lot of much bigger problems than undocumented people. I'm born and raised here, been 44 years. We are 41st in healthcare, 31st in education, 50th in dentists per capita. That's a real thing. 50th in heart disease and stroke. Number 1 in drug and alcohol addiction, number 3 in opioid prescriptions per 100 people, and number 1 in opioid deaths. I would say that we've got much bigger problems than the abuelitas down the road making tapas, don't we? They're people. They're human beings that come here. We have a great country. You're lucky to be born here. I'm lucky to be born here. We got such a great country that these people are sneaking into it. And you know what they're doing? They're working. They're working for the betterment of their family, like any of you would do, right? Would you do it? You all would, I bet. If not, then you got some soul searching to do. They come here and they work, sometimes 2 jobs, sometimes 3 jobs. And that's what they do for their families. And they're not animals. They're not the worst of the worst. They're not, just because your guy doesn't understand, not your guy, just because the guy doesn't understand the difference between asylum and insane asylums, they're not. They're not releasing people out of prisons. These are church-going people coming here for their families. Since you guys opened with a Bible verse, this one is Matthew 35. Matthew 25, verse 35. For I was hungry and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger and you invited me in. I needed clothes and you clothed me. I was sick and you looked after me. I was in prison and you came to visit me. Then the righteous will answer him, Lord, when did we see you hungry or thirsty or give you something to drink? Or when did we see the stranger and invite you in or needing clothes or clothe you? When did we see you sick or in prison and go to visit you? The king will reply, truly I tell you, whatever you did for the least one of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me.
Next up is Alan Kamalenza, and on deck is Anna Karina DeWitt.
My name is Alan Camerlinga. I'm a resident of Rutherford County. Since the start of this administration, the number of children in these detention centers have increased 6-fold. In early February, there is more than 750 families, nearly half of them including children held at the Dealey Immigration Processing Center in South Texas, the only one holding families. Children are innocent, and they describe the anguish of being trapped, about missing siblings, friends, teachers, falling behind at school, unreliable access to medical care, and worrying about what happens next, going back to their country of origin where they tried to escape dangerous circumstances. Quote, since I got to this center, all you will feel is sadness and mostly depression. All you will feel is sadness and mostly depression. That's Oriana V., a 14-year-old from Honduras who is living in New York. Another quote, more than 60 days going to the doctor and that the only thing they tell you is to drink more water. And the worst thing is that it seems the water is what makes people sick here. The worst thing is that the water is what makes people sick here. That's Ender, a 12-year-old from Venezuela who is living in Austin, Texas. This is real. The people taken don't just disappear, they leave gaping wounds in our community. Parentless children, jobs not being done, missing wives and husbands. And I'll remind you that being in this country undocumented is a civil offense. These people did nothing wrong, nothing worse than having a window tinted too dark. I know Fitzhugh claims that, quote, "It is the honor of my life to serve the people of Rutherford County and sought to leave this department better than I found it by focusing on service and accountability." That is the absolute opposite of what these ICE agents are doing. They are not servicing our community and they are having no accountability whatsoever. And 287G, put yourself on the right side of ethics, on Constitution, international law, and God. If you want to protect and serve our community, you need to put yourself on the right side of law and justice. Our voices and actions will only continue to get louder and stronger. You cannot escape this. Everyone here is telling you and giving you a pathway to a better future. And 287G.
Next up is Anna Karina DeWitt, and on deck is Sonia Stevenson.
Good evening. My name is Anna Karina Lorenzana DeWitt. I live in District 16, and yes, I am a resident of Rutherford County. I come to you tonight a little bit tired and also helpless because I'm not sure what to do anymore. I've come here month after month to beg all of you to please end this contract. And don't say that you're without power because I know that you can do something. That's why I'm here begging you to do something. But I've had people avoid making eye contact with me. I've seen people shuffling papers. I've seen people playing around on their iPads. All I'm asking is for a little bit of your time. At least make eye contact with me. I am your constituent. Do I not deserve to be listened to? I live in fear. I live in paranoia every single day of my life. I've had nightmares where I've had ICE agents chasing me, hurting me, threatening to kill me or harm me, and my family. And it's not just me. 3 American citizens have died already. Thousands of immigrants died before them, but nobody cared. And now they've killed Keith Porter Jr., they've killed Renee Good, and they've killed Alex Pretty, who was a nurse. He worked for you. He worked to save your lives. What else do you want? Seriously, what else do you want? I don't want you to come and debate me. I don't want you to come and shake my hand and say, thank you for speaking. I want you to do something. Please do something. Because you have blood on your hands. I can't sleep at night. I produce so much cortisol. Do you know what it's leading me to? An early grave. Heart damage. Like organ damage. Do you know what happens to people that don't get adequate sleep at night? Brain damage. And that's permanent. My risks for obesity, for cancer, for heart disease, for conditions that will kill me are skyrocketing through the roof because you will not do something. Why? So I'm opening a conversation. What do you need from me? What do you want from me? What do you want me to say? Because I come here every month to beg for my life. Why? And 287G, now, you do have the power. Do not lie to me. Do not lie to us. Do something. Thank you.
Next is Sonia Stevenson. Ms. Stevenson's topic is a thank you.
Good evening. I'm Sonia Stevenson. I live in District 4 with Robert Peace District. I'm going to read this so I won't forget anything. I want to sincerely thank all Essential County employees who continued working during the recent inclement weather, affectionately named Winter Storm Fern 2026. Snow alone can create hazardous conditions, but the addition of ice brought an even greater level of danger and concern, both for the public and for those serving in these challenging circumstances. It is important we pause to recognize the individuals who work tirelessly to provide safety, stability, and support to our community in times of need. While many of us were safe inside our homes, these individuals were responding to emergencies, keeping our roads passable, maintaining our facilities, and ensuring critical services continued without interruption. During this storm, these individuals included certified law enforcement officers and the Sheriff's Office administration responded to 1,677 events, such as vehicle accidents, violent crimes, overdoses, and domestic incidents, to name a few. Sheriff's Office Emergency Communications handled 1,403 calls. EMA Communications had 1,588 calls. These employees worked nonstop, coordinating emergency responses and routed calls for law enforcement, medical, and fire services. Ambulance service responded to 1,048 urgent medical calls and had a service record of 186 calls on January 26th. Fire and rescue responded to 240 calls for fires, rescues, medical assistant, hazmat, public service, and non-emergencies. Emergency management kept the mayor, employees, and community informed of conditions while responding to critical incidents, gathered community partners, developed action plans, activated the Emergency Operations Center, found shelter for displaced citizens impacted by the storm, and many other interagency items. PAWS provided care for shelter animals and responded to animal-related concerns. Facilities maintenance, salted sidewalks, maintained heat, prevented frozen plumbing, ensured power remained operational. Highway department crews brined approximately 500 miles of county roads and cleared brush along more than 900 miles, with many noting this storm was worse for county roads than the historic 1994 storm. Solid waste cleared road access to public health and safety buildings and county fire halls. Office of Information and Technology kept phones and computer systems operational. Budget and Finance ensured payroll for 8,344 employees continued without interruption. Risk Management received and responded to 11 reported employee injuries, and the Mayor's Office provided consistent communication and updates to employees in the community. In addition, several departments maintained continuous operation despite not being outdoors in the elements, including our judicial commissioners, correctional work center, juvenile detention center, and jail. Their work does not pause for weather events, and their dedication is equally valued. We are fortunate for the foresight of current and former commissioners and mayors whose leadership ensured these departments were established, supported, and properly funded. Because of that vision, our growing county has the resources and infrastructure necessary to respond effectively in moments like this. Too often, we remember public service only in moments of personal need. It is important to acknowledge and appreciate the men and women who show up, especially in the most difficult conditions, to keep our community safe. It is these moments we need to remember just how much we rely on them every single day. If I have unintentionally omitted any department or persons, please know it was not by design, and I extend my sincere apologies. My gratitude extends to all those who played a role in keeping our county safe during this event and on every day. The county is stronger because of each of you, and thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Davidson. Next up is elections and confirmations. Call on our steering vice chair, Commissioner Pettis-Reed. I'm sorry, Commissioner P.
Could I make a statement, please?
You can.
I went to get my hair cut last week. That's not the statement. But the lady there was someone I'd never met before, and I asked her what I asked everybody that I meet, where are you from originally? And she told me she was from Egypt. She looked Hispanic. We talked for a while, and she told me that her daughter, who was a college student or just out of college, 21 or 26, I forget the exact number, was dreadfully frightened about the things that are occurring of what a lot of these people are speaking about. And I couldn't sit silent without saying, especially after hearing this impassioned plea from the young lady a while ago, what is it you want me to do? Well, here's what I want you to do. I want you to communicate. And that's something we're not doing. I talked to our sheriff, and I'm one of several commissioners over the years that have gone to the Sheriff's Police Academy. And if you would sign up to do that, unfortunately there's not one right now, but if you want to know what's going on in this county, what our law enforcement is doing, that's something you need to do. You need to go and sign up for our police academy. You will meet the individual officers that are in patrol, detectives, right on down, the whole line, not just the sheriff. But you will find out how dedicated these people are. You will find people that look just like you, regardless of your color, race, or background. and you'll find that they love this county and they're out here to protect. Two, we are not communicating well enough on the sheriff's department side. I'm going to throw this on them. I keep hearing people come up here and talk about, well, there were 3 people killed. Yes, there were, and that's terrible. There's violence going on. It's terrible. But if you'll go and communicate, and this is public records, I don't know the exact statistics. The last statistics that I heard, out of, say, 95 people that are being held for ICE in the sheriff's department, out of that 95, and I want y'all to go check, these are not the exact number, but 82 of those people that were arrested, all of them were arrested for committing crimes, but 82 of them were arrested for violent crimes. And when I say violent, I'm talking murder, I'm talking child rape. Now, I personally do not want to see anybody on the loose, whether they're an immigrant here legally or illegally. But we're not communicating well with each other. I think the sheriff's department needs to communicate a little bit better. They are not going out here sweeping the streets looking for anybody. And I will tell you this, I told the lady that was cutting my hair, I gave her my card. I'll give any of y'all my card. If any of you want to learn more, and especially the lady that keeps saying how afraid she is, you need to get to know these people, and you'll find out that they've got your best interests at heart. And yes, there are bad people in this world. And yes, there are some bad cops out there. But if we ever see them, I promise you, we will put them in the deepest hole we can find. And that's the way I feel about it. It makes my heart bleed when I hear people tell me that they are afraid of our government and our police. And we need to communicate more and take care of that. Mr. Chairman, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. P. Commissioner Reed, you're up.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Commissioner P. Elections and confirmations, begin with item 1, election of notaries. Listings of notaries may be found in your iPad, Commissioners. Mr. Chairman, I move to the confirmation of elections of these individuals as Rutherford County notaries.
I have a motion and a second to confirm the list of notaries. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposition? Motion to approve carries. Thank you.
Item 2, Stirring would like to confirm the reappointment of Trey Smith on the Consolidated Utility Development Board for a 4-year term. CUD has recommended the reappointment, and the mayor has announced it. Mr. Chairman, I so move.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to confirm the reappointment of Trey Smith to the CUD Board. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposition? Motion to approve carries. Thank you.
Item 3, Stirring also wishes to confirm the reappointment of Steve Harrison as the county representative to the Rutherford Smyrna Airport Authority Board. This is a 5-term standard, and March 20 to 26 until March 2035. Mayor makes the appointment, and the commission does confirm it. So, Mr. Chairman, I so move.
I have a motion and a second to confirm the reappointment of Steve Harrison to the Smyrna Rutherford County Airport Authority Board. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Is there any opposition? That motion to approve carries. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, this concludes the business of elections and confirmations.
Thank you, Chairman Reed. Item M, resolution to approve the consent agenda. Once again, I'll call on our Chairman Pro Tem, Trey Goots.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And just a comment also. So when an item comes through our standing committees, most of those items end up in budget and sent to the full commission. Many of those items end up on our consent agenda. So when you see a standing committee that says no report, they may have had 5 reports, but they're on the consent agenda or went to budget, so it's not like they're doing nothing. Having said that, I'll move that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second. I have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. For this, commissioners will be on the board, so if you would, please cast your vote. Commissioner Oliver.
Anyone that did not vote and wishes to vote, or anyone who would like to change your vote, you may do so now.
Record the vote.
21 yes.
Motion passes. Thank you. Item P, we're getting into our report of standing committees. Just one quick comment to kind of follow up on a couple of those. We have roughly 132 committee meetings a year. And those committee meetings receive reports from our departments and updates from our department as to what they're doing. A lot of those, a lot of what's happened in our committees are submitted through the notes of those committees and the minutes of those committees, which are a permanent part of our record. And that's the report that they submit every month is minutes. Forward anything that relates to money in the county to the Budget Committee, and the Budget Committee reports, just like Commissioner Gooch was saying. So if you think that the committees aren't doing anything, it would be good to attend some of those meetings, or at least watch them on Rutherford County TV to see what goes on. I think week before last and last week, if I'm not mistaken, 3 different committees, and I believe it was Public Safety, Property Management, and Budget, spent well over 8 hours talking about the possibility of us moving forward with a new jail or adult corrective center. So it's not that those committees don't do anything, but collectively the report comes through the Budget Committee, just like Commissioner Gooch says. So it'd be good before there's these accusations that you and me don't do anything to either attend the committee or watch them and see what happens on there. So much for me tonight. I'm sorry to take your time. Item P1, Budget, Financement, and Investment Committee, Chairman Robert P.
All right. Budget item A1, just as the chairman mentioned, has got to do with the jail. Whereas Rutherford County desires to fund the initial architectural and engineering programming phase for a future sheriff's office and jail project, and whereas Klein Sweeney Associates LLC has submitted a proposal for programming services in the amount not to exceed $650,000, and whereas funding for such services will be provided from excess funds remaining from the county's capital project fund from savings realized on the solid waste transfer station project. Therefore, be it resolved by the Rutherford County Board of Commissioners that funding for the programming phase, architectural and engineering services for the future sheriff's office and jail project is hereby approved in the amount not to exceed $650,000. And be it further resolved that the county mayor and all other appropriate officials of Rutherford County, Tennessee be and are hereby authorized, subject to county attorney approval, to execute a contract with Klein Sweeney Associates LLC to provide the programming phase, architectural and engineering services for the sheriff's office and jail project, and substantially the form attached hereto is Exhibit A, which is incorporated herein by reference as if copied herein verbatim. Resolved this 12th day of February 2026. Mr. Chairman, I so move.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion or comments?
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Oliver.
As I listened to several of these presentations relative to this, it was stated, and I believe it was in the budget meeting when I was watching, Commissioner Gooch made the statement that this is going to happen whether the county does it or the federal government does it. So I was wondering if I could ask Commissioner Gooch to expand upon that response that he gave in committee.
Commissioner Gooch. Yes, ma'am. So and we learned this in the study work group, we're this close of losing certification because of our overcrowding. The federal government's going to come down at some point and build us a jail if we don't, based on potential lawsuits. They did that in Memphis. And if you want to check out what happens, we prefer that local people build our jail, not the federal government coming down here, building whatever they want to build and sending us the bill. So yes, I firmly believe, and I know the Sheriff's Department does too, is that we're going, and CTAS and the Correctional Center Partnership Organization believes that we're going to get a new jail. It's just we need to decide if we're going to build it or if the federal government's going to build it. Does that make sense?
May I respond?
Yes.
Okay. When you say it's going to be built, does that mean financed? So if the federal government builds it, will they finance it?
No, ma'am. We're financing.
Okay. So that's what I needed some clarity on.
Yes, ma'am. Maybe I wasn't clear, but yes, we're going to, Rutherford County taxpayers are going to pay for it. But we've got a good plan. The programming study, part of it is just the first section. And so we've got many local leaders and stakeholders participating to build a jail that's meant to last us for 20, 30, 40 years. I think the federal government, if I'm not mistaken, came down and built Memphis. We don't want that. We want to build it ourselves.
Thank you for clarifying that.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Other questions, other comments? Once again, if I'm not mistaken, this presentation was before 3 different committees, and there's 18 of our commissioners that have attended one of those, and several of those 18 commissioners have attended multiple meetings. I think Commissioner Cush and Commissioner Wilson and Commissioner Boyd was not on any of the committees that served. Do you guys have any particular questions? I'm pretty sure. Y'all okay? All right. Any other questions or comments? For this, commissioners will be on the board. Please cast your vote.
Anyone that did not vote and wishes to vote, or anyone who would like to change your vote, you may do so now.
Record the vote.
"21 yes."
Motion passes. Let me just make a quick comment, if I could, Chairman P. This is roughly a 6-month planning process that we'll be going through. And at the end of that process, this commission will probably turn what happens to the future of a new jail over to the next commission to make decisions on whether or not to move forward. There are several stopgaps along the way to where we proceed or we don't proceed, but this is the first step in entering a plan to build a new jail in the future. It will probably take roughly 5 years. It could be a little more for us if we continue to move forward to realize a new jail. And this planning process will answer a lot of questions as to where the jail needs to go, what size jail we need, and we'll be planning for way down the road and in the future so that we won't have to be coming back 10 years to add on or to build a new jail. So as you know, our population is growing rapidly, and the needs of different departments, and corrections departments is one of those. So this process will begin right now, and it'll take about 6 months for us to get through the planning process. And there's a probability that this commission will make a decision whether to move forward to the next phase and hand that over to the next commission come September. Chairman P.
Item B, and I want everybody, especially you guys at home and the audience here, to pay attention, please, to this resolution. This is an example of how your budget committee and your full commission is dedicated to saving money here for our citizens. I'm going to read part of this resolution. There's 30-something pages here, so I'm just going to do a blurb, and then I'm going to ask our finance director to make a statement, which he is required to do before I finish the motion. A resolution authorizing the issuance of general obligation refunding bonds of Rutherford County, Tennessee, in one or more series, making provisions for the issuance, sale, and payment of said bonds, establishing the terms thereof and the disposition of proceeds therefrom, provided for the levy of taxes for the payment of principal or of premium, if any, and interest on the bonds. Excuse me. But basically what this is doing is summed up in this sentence here. The anticipated net percent value of savings on this is $1,070,244, or 1.68% of the refunded principal. And basically, we are paying our debt off early. And I'm going to, at this time, ask our finance director to make a statement.
One of the things tonight, you're not voting on this specifically, but on your iPads, part of doing a refunding is we're required to present a refunding plan to the comptroller's office prior to coming here. That is on your iPads as the third attachment. And so part of this refunding is we'll do a refunding. These bonds are callable on April 1st. And so once we call those, we'll replace those with another set of 10-year bonds. But we're required to present that letter for the minutes tonight. That letter is in there, approved by the comptroller's office, but I just have to read that for the minutes.
And taking my first statement in, resolve this 12th day of February 2026, I so move that we adopt this resolution.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion or questions or comments? Seeing none, commissioners, please cast your vote. Michael?
As you're voting, I need to say one thing that I forgot to mention. Part of this refunding is this gives us the authority to do the refunding. It may not be next month. It could be in May as we monitor the rates. We do that in conjunction with Ted Beatty in the trustee's office and our municipal advisor and bond counsel out of Nashville. So I just want you to know we'll come back here to this body at this time and let you know the true savings. But it may be this month. It could be in 3 months that we actually go to the bond market. It depends on the market conditions. I forgot to state that when I was making the announcement. So sorry about that.
Now, any questions or comments? Seeing none, commissioners, please cast your vote.
Anyone that did not vote and wishes to vote, or anyone who would like to change your vote, you may do so now.
Record the vote.
21 yes.
Motion passes. Chairman P.
Budget item C. The first resolution is for some unspent funds that Paul's had left over from last year that they're wanting to reimburse for. And the second is some money requested for the county commission. Part of that will be for travel to visit jail sites, potential jail sites. Be it resolved by the Rutherford County Board of Commissioners that the general fund be amended as follows: for Paul's increased expenditures, drugs and medical supplies, $10,000, an increase in data processing equipment, $46,455, a decrease in unassigned fund balance of $56,455. And I'm going to do these two together. For the county commission, an increased expense for travel, $25,000, an increase in other charges for $1,000, and a decrease in unassigned fund balance of $26,000. Resolved this 12th day of February 2026. Mr. Chairman, I so move.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Questions or comments? Commissioners, please cast your vote.
Anyone that did not vote and wishes to vote, or anyone who would like to change your vote, you may do so now. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me repeat that, please. Anyone that did not vote and Anyone that did not vote and wishes to vote, or anyone who would like to change your vote, you may do so now.
Record the vote.
21 yes.
Motion passes. Chairman P.
Budget item D, this is a grant. Whereas the U.S. Department of Transportation has awarded the Safe Streets for All SS4A grants for planning and demonstration for Rutherford County for transportation needs in the amount of $460,000 with a 20% county match in the amount of $115,000. And whereas Rutherford County plans to use the funding from the SS4A grant to help fund part of the Rutherford County Transportation Plan. And whereas prior to the expenditure of any grant funds, the Planning and Engineering Department shall coordinate with the Rutherford County Regional Planning Commission to develop recommendations regarding proposed transportation plan expenditures from said grant funds, which shall be submitted to the Public Works Committee for review and final approval prior to such expenditures. Therefore, be it resolved by the Rutherford County Board of Commissioners that the county mayor and all other appropriate officials of Rutherford County, Tennessee, be and are hereby authorized to execute the grant with the U.S. Department of Transportation. A copy of the same being attached hereto is Exhibit A and incorporated herein by reference, as if set forth herein at length verbatim, for planning and demonstration for Rutherford County transportation needs. Be it further resolved that no SS4A grants shall be expended until the Planning and Engineering Department has coordinated with the Rutherford County Regional Planning Commission to develop recommendations for proposed expenditures from said grant funds, and such expenditures have been reviewed and approved by the Public Works Committee prior to such expenditures. Be it therefore resolved that the general fund be amended as follows to recognize the revenue, appropriate the county match, and appropriate the expenditures. Unassigned fund balance, $40,000. Other direct federal revenue, $460,000. Consultants, $500,000. Resolved this 12th day of February 2026. Mr. Chairman, I so move.
I have a motion and a second. Questions or comments? Commissioners, please cast your vote.
Anyone that did not vote and wishes to vote, or anyone who would like to change your vote, you may do so now.
Record the vote.
21 yes.
Motion passes.
Mr. Chairman, that concludes our business. The next scheduled budget meeting will be March the 5th. And before I walk down, I want to appreciate you for letting me speak a minute ago and repeat to the audience, if any of y'all wish to talk to me, go down and meet the sheriff's office, or there we could make an appointment and go down. I've been told that they'll give you a tour. They'll ask your questions. You'll get to meet people that are afraid. We need to communicate with these folks, and I think you'd be pleasantly surprised. But please do contact me. Thank you. Or any of these other commissioners, they'll do the same thing.
Thank you, Chairman P. Item P2, Public Safety Committee, Chairman Pettis-Reed.
Mr. Chairman, we have no reports, but our next meeting will be Monday, February the 23rd at 5:30 in this room.
Thank you, Chairman. P3, Health and Education Committee, Chairman Phil Dodd.
Thank you, Chairman. I do have one notice I'd like to share with everyone. The school board passed a resolution recently to support financial literacy in the school systems. This was on the heels of some state Department of Education or Department of Treasury scorecards. And in lieu of that, at our next meeting on February the 24th at 5:30, we will have Bill Parker, Director of Tennessee Financial Commission, Tennessee Department of Treasury, will present the Rutherford County Financial Wellness Scorecard to the Health and Ed Committee. We'll have Senator Shane Reeves and I believe Charlie Baum here as well to talk about financial literacy, and we'd like to see this permeate through other parts of the county. So please pay attention to the next meeting of Health and Ed.
Thank you, Chairman Dodd. Item P4, Property Management Committee. I'm sorry,
Mr.
Commissioner
Chairman,
P.
thank you for indulging me again. I also wanted to add to Chairman Dodd's statement. I got a call from Director Sullivan that Rutherford County Schools and one other county, only 2 counties in the state, have been recognized by the State Board of Education for their outstanding financial. Anyway, not stealing any of their thunder, but I think that's something we can well be proud of, being recognized throughout the state as being outstanding with our finances and how we use them. Thank you.
One of our first shout-outs tonight. Thank you, Chairman P. Item P4, Property Management Committee, Chairman Alan McAdoo.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. No report tonight, and our next meeting will be February 26th at 5:30 p.m.
Item P5, Public Works and Planning Committee, Chairman Anthony Johnson.
Thank you, Chairman. Our next meeting will be Tuesday, March the 3rd, 5:30. We do not have a report tonight because, as explained, we took care of business in our committee. We sent everything here, and we heard it again tonight. So if anybody wants to hear it, they can pull it up on the YouTube, and you're welcome to listen.
Thank you, Chairman Johnson. Item P6, Steering Legislative and Governmental Committee, Chairman Craig Harris. Chairman Harris, if I'm not mistaken, there's a recommendation to remove item 6B, the revision of public comments policy, and I would entertain a motion to remove that from the agenda, send it back to committee for further discussion. Have a motion? And a second to remove item 6B, that's a revision of public comments policy, and send it back to steering because there's some additional things that they want to discuss. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposition? Motion to approve carries. Thank you. One less thing, Chairman Harris.
Thanks. Commissioners, first up is going to be our ethics policy. What this is Commissioner Piercy had asked me to look into our ethics board, and because of conflict of interest, we have added 2 alternates for the ethics committee. They'll be serving 1-year terms just like everyone else, and they will be on a case-by-case consideration, which will be by the chairman of Ted Beatty. This position will not be appointed by the mayor. This will be appointed by this body, and it can be commissioners or anyone, citizens. So we're not keeping it to just one certain group. So I'll read this. Whereas the Rutherford County Board of Commissioners previously adopted a code of ethics applicable to county officials, employees, boards, and committees, and whereas the Board of Commissioners has determined that it is in the best interest of Rutherford County to revise the code of ethics to provide for the selection of alternate members of the Ethics Committee and to clarify related provisions. And whereas the revised code of ethics is attached hereto as Exhibit A and is incorporated herein as if copied herein verbatim. Now therefore be it resolved by the Rutherford County Board of Commissioners that the revised code of ethics they presented and attached in Exhibit A shall be and hereby is adopted and approved. Resolved this 12th day of February 2026. Mr. Chairman, I so move.
Have a motion and a second. Discussion. Commissioner James.
I have a question about how we came up with the original format for the Ethics Committee. How we go about choosing who or what sits on it.
Yep, I can, Chairman Harris, I think I can. Yeah, so my understanding is when this law was passed, there was no requirement that a committee be formed. It just required that a policy be enacted. but CTAS created a model policy for counties to use, and this was their recommendation initially. So that's how the original formatting and text of the policy came into being years ago, and so the only thing being changed here is to add the alternates.
I'm wondering if we could have a discussion about the idea of kind of setting it up in a more broad format or more unified format. The idea I was thinking of and proposing of was a member, have the committee set up with 7 individuals, have a member from each of our municipalities selected by their mayor, and then a member from the county general selected by our county mayor, and then the 2 remaining be county commissioners that we appoint from this body. Something along that lines to give a more unified from the county approach. What can we do to have more of a discussion on that?
Well, one of the situations is that the cities have their own ethics board. So we as a county have our own ethics. So you're saying that you want representation from the cities and the city mayors appoint?
Well, yes. I mean,
Okay.
they're within Rutherford County, so that'd be kind of how any issue we come up with, it'd be, in my opinion, it'd be a good idea to have a representative from each of the municipalities that sits within inside us, and then one from the county general that doesn't sit within inside us, and then we select 2 of ourselves for the remaining 2 slots.
I'll get with Nick and we'll see what we can do in that.
Yeah, and I'll just comment and echo what you said. So I believe the city of Murfreesboro, I'm not sure about the city of Laverne or the other municipalities. I imagine that they do have their own code of ethics that govern their employees and their officials, just like we have our own policy to govern our officials and our employees. And so it may get complex and confusing to have individuals from other governments sitting on our ethics board judging ethics violations of our own county employees and county officials. You can see how possibly it could get very political and a little bit confusing to have that.
I can see where your comment was political and confusing. I can understand what you're saying, but I still look at everybody, whether they're Smyrna or Eagleville, they're all Rutherford County residents.
Yeah, so it's a policy decision on what the board's makeup is, because there's no statute that lays out whose members can be on it or not. Again, I just reiterate that the original makeup was based on a model policy from CTAS, so that there was a uniform approach as best it could throughout the state of Tennessee.
Thank you.
Once again, just to highlight, Chairman Harris, this is not changing the policy at all. It's just adding alternate members in case.
That's all it is.
Other questions, comments? Commissioner Oliver?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. On that last conversation, what was the result? Does that mean that you guys are going to look at it or you're not going to look at it? Because Chairman Harris was saying we could discuss it or look at it at another time, and then Mr. Christensen sounded like he wouldn't. So I was just trying to get some clarity.
I'll speak for myself. I ain't saying nothing unless I talk to a lawyer. So that's where I am on that.
I think any commissioner can bring up anything that relates to any particular committee, such as the steering committee, for the steering committee chairman to put that on the agenda for discussion.
Okay.
That's what should happen.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I just don't want to, if it's not legal, then, I don't want to sit here and bring it up. And to be honest with you, I don't know the answer to that question.
Heaven forbid it not be legal. I mean, lawsuits already, right?
There you go. See, that's how it is. We got a motion, Mr. Chairman.
Do we?
I think Mr. Harris made the motion. I don't know if there was a second. There was. The clerk is indicating there was a second.
Thank you, Commissioner Piercy. I guess we need to vote on this, and we don't need to vote.
No, not for this.
We'll just do a voice call. If all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion to approve carries. Thank you. Chairman Harris.
All right, Mr. Chairman, this is on the Highway Board change of the Private Act. Whereas Chapter 55 of the Private Acts of 1951 created and established the Rutherford County Highway Commission and related provisions governing the Highway Department as amended by numerous subsequent private acts, collectively the original Highway Act. Whereas the original Highway Act has been amended on multiple occasions, resulting in provisions that are outdated, fragmented, or inconsistent with current general law. Whereas is it in the best interest of the citizens of Rutherford County, Tennessee to repeal the original Highway Act, and all acts amended thereto to replace the same with a comprehensive and modernized private act relative to the administration of the Rutherford County Highway Department, the County Highway Commission, and the Office of the County Highway Superintendent, as set forth in the Act to repeal Chapter 55 of the Private Acts of 1951, as amended, and to provide for the administration of the Rutherford County Highway Department and the selection and tenure of the Highway Superintendent and Highway Commission, attached to in Exhibit 1. Now therefore be it resolved by the Rutherford County Board of Commissioners as follows. The Chapter 55 of the Private Acts of 1951 and all acts amendatory thereto relative to the Rutherford County Highway Commission and Highway Department should be repealed and replaced by the act attached in Exhibit 1. That the act attached in Exhibit 1 be adopted by the Rutherford County Board of Commissioners for the purpose of carrying out the intent of the resolution, and that the same be forwarded to the Tennessee General Assembly. That upon passage by the Tennessee General Assembly of the act attached here to Exhibit 1, the same shall be presented to the Rutherford County Board of Commissioners for ratification as required by law. That the county clerk is directed to transmit a certified copy of the resolution and attach the act to the legislative delegation representing Rutherford County, Tennessee, with the request that the act be introduced and passed during the current legislative session. Resolved this 12th day of February 2026 by 2/3 vote of the current legislative body of Rutherford County, Tennessee. Mr. Chairman, I so move.
Second.
A motion and a second to maybe answer some questions that are in some people's mind. We had several folks to ask a question that related to this topic during our public comments. Well, I'd like for our county attorney just to tell you what this is and what it does and why we're doing it.
Thank you, Chairman. The Road Board has been looking into this item for many months, and I was asked to come in and assist them on the legalities of how to go about amending their private act. The private act originally, as stated earlier, was from the 1950s. It was a different time then. The superintendent had many different obligations, including oversight over the workhouse, which we all know is no longer correct, and other various things that are no longer required or antiquated. Also, over the last decade or so, there has been an enactment of what's called the County Uniform Highway Law, which was passed by the General Assembly, that really laid out a uniform law for counties to follow and how they deal with their highway department, their superintendent, and their road systems within their jurisdictions. And so what this act does is it gets rid of all the antiquated language that no longer applies, brings our highway department, our highway commission, and our road superintendent's duties into compliance with this uniform law. And the other thing, primary thing that it does is it gives the superintendent the same purchasing authority as the county mayor relative to the general purchasing powers of the county that is allowed by statute. And doing this, the private act would give him the requisite authority. I think in the original private act, it was somewhere around a couple hundred or a couple $1,000s is all that the superintendent could spend without approval. But now that raises it up to a limit that matches the county mayor's, over which there would be a requirement for bids, and the county highway commission would have to approve those. So those are, by and large, the changes being made.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Questions or comments? Commissioner Oliver.
Yes. I'm curious, why were Commissioner Williams' edits not included?
Well, I can speak for myself as the county attorney that attended those meetings, and I want to first state that the county attorney's office takes its obligations to the county commission and all of its boards very seriously and serves really as an advisory capacity consistent with law. So the draft legislation at issue was prepared over many months of discussion to reflect the discussions held during the Highway Department's public meetings and to bring the private act into compliance with current law. That discussion lasted again for several months, and comments were provided by Ms. Williams sometime in November of 2025, and 2 months went by with further discussions being had about her comments, her requested changes, and other road boards members' requested changes. And during that period, there was extensive discussions, and at no point was there any motion made by the board to adopt any of Ms. Williams' changes. The draft was prepared and presented to the Highway Commission on February 2nd at their regularly scheduled board meeting, and the county attorney's office expressly provided board members the opportunity to make a motion to incorporate any proposed revisions, including those suggested by Ms. Williams, but no such motion was made by the board nor Ms. Williams. And Ms. Williams had some other engagement and had to leave prior to the end of that discussion, and following her departure, there was no motion to defer the item made by Ms. Williams or anybody else to consider it on a later agenda. The board continued to discuss the matter and eventually voted to approve the draft that was submitted, save for a couple minor technical edits. So what you have before you, Commissioner Oliver, and the rest of the commission is the version that was presented to the board and duly voted on with a vote of 6 approvals, and Ms. Williams was absent from the vote.
Okay, that still didn't answer my question. All of the commissioners were allowed to submit edits. Why was hers the only ones left out or not considered? And why was the vote taken after a 2-hour meeting and she departed because she had another meeting? So I don't know if I need to ask those to Mr. Brooks or whoever, but to me, it seems intentional, especially since you all had the edits almost 3 months before the vote on February 2nd. So I have some concerns. And honestly, it looks bad, because the only edits you didn't take was from the black woman. You know what I mean? And she has the experience and expertise that I think warrants, and plus she's an elected official, that warrants consideration. And that's my position.
Well, I would like to respond to that in kind. First, I am just the lawyer, and so I put together the legal language that is the will of the majority of the board. I'll again reiterate that, at least from my presence there at the board, there was no motion to defer the item or otherwise accept any changes from Ms. Williams to formally put that in the form of a motion. I do take exception personally to be called or implied that any motive or intent to create a legal document was for any sort of racial animus or discriminatory purpose. So I will take objection to that, and I hate that I have to do that publicly, but unfortunately that's what I have to say on the matter.
Other questions or comments? Since there have been some comments, commissioners, we will be on the board for this, so please cast your vote.
Anyone that did not vote and wishes to vote, or anyone who would like to change your vote, you may do so now.
Record the vote.
20 yes, 1 no.
Item 6C passes.
Can I say one other item? One other thing. And Commissioner Oliver, I'd also note that there is a second African-American member on the board, Michael Anderson, who was in full support of the draft that was presented before the board and who voted to approve it after Ms. Williams departed the meeting.
May I respond?
Yes.
I said woman.
Pardon?
I said woman.
Oh. Okay. I have a wife, and I really do like women a whole lot.
Okay. Let me just change directions here a little bit. I see Mary Hickerson back there. Mary, who's hiding behind that post? Okay, very good. This is kind of an early shout out. Our highway department, to me, has just done an outstanding job with what they've had to work with for years and years and years. They've been criticized about not building new roads or constructing new roads or improving roads where roads don't exist. And I think they've done a wonderful job with the resources that they've had. But this shout out deals with the type of work that they do. It's physically demanding. And attending risk management meetings for years with that department, they have a safety record that companies and departments would die for. classic example is 2025, that department had 0 OSHA recordable accidents, 0. And that's typical of them year in and year out. When they have an accident, it is really rare. And I just wanted to bring that up as a shout out because they put employees' safety first above anything and everything. And it's, to me, it just can't be emphasized enough how they treat their employees and how they emphasize that they want their employees home in one piece at the end of their work shift. So Mary and all the board members that are back there, I don't know if Mr. Brooks is in the audience or not, but I thought you were hiding behind the post, but I see you're hiding behind Commissioner Harris. But congratulations on that performance. And I just wanted to do a very specific shout out for the work that you do and the performance that you have. And it's appreciated by this commissioner, and I know many other commissioners too. Thank you. Sorry, Commissioner Harris.
Mr. Chairman.
It's okay.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Johnson.
I had the privilege of serving 24 years on the Highway Department Road Board. And I want you to know, with almost 1,000 miles of highway, this is the best run highway department in the state of Tennessee. Thank you very much.
Commissioner Harris.
Commissioners, in front, I put a report on your desk. All right, based on what we did as far as the lobbyists, we agreed that we would get all the bills that pertain to us that are in session right now. I had put all the numbers down here for you. I put a summary down here for you. I put the sponsors for you. And you will see where I put 3 things. I either put watch, oppose, or support. According to the changes we did on the contract, our lobbyist, and the mayor didn't show up, so we went ahead and went forward, and we put, you can see in red where we put to watch on these or to support them. What I would suggest is for you to look at this, to study this. If you have any questions, call me, email me. I will have this report for the steering committee. We'll discuss it. So if you have any questions, let me know. I will be glad to set you up with the lobbyists, and we'll sit down and we'll go over every one of these bills. Some of them are caption bills, which what that is they're just putting something in place, and then the bill will start becoming a bill and amendment. So it's kind of like basically holding a spot. So a lot of these are just to watch on here, and there's some like the cap on the property tax is something you need to look at and read. The real estate transfer fee, which we've been working on for 5 years, you need to watch that one. And there's some other ones in here as well. So if you got any questions, let me know. If you need anything else, email me or get with your chairmen of your board, and then they can contact me as well. That's all I got.
Thank you, Chairman. Next steering committee is March the 2nd. Other business, we have one item under other business, and it's a resolution to approve Second Amendment to Real Estate Purchase Agreement, that is the Bank of America building, to modify our permitting period deadlines. And I'll let Nick, if he would, explain this to us.
Yep. Thank you, Chairman. So earlier this week, I was computing the days of left in our extension periods that we have, and noticed that many of them fell on the day or two before our subsequent month's commission meetings. And as this body makes its final decisions with respect to the Bank of America building, I wanted to make sure that those deadlines actually occurred the day after our monthly commission meetings, so that if any votes have to take place over the next 3 to 4 months on the BOA building, that can be done before the timelines run up. So the seller has already agreed to this amendment. It's just more of a form change. There's nothing changing with the money, no requirements of additional money. It's just the timing on stuff to give more flexibility to this commission to make decisions over the next 3 to 4 months.
Extending deadlines.
Correct.
Okay. Do you need to read the resolution?
The resolution is before you. If you've all read it, I don't think it needs to be read. It's self-explanatory. It just adopts the amendment that's attached to the exhibit. It's a one-page amendment.
Questions?
I'll make a motion to approve.
We have a motion and a second to approve the attached resolution to your agenda. Under discussion. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposition? Motion to approve carries. Thank you. Here we are. Shout-outs. I'd like to shout out to my wife who's going to put my spaghetti supper in the microwave when I call her, and it'll be ready when we get home. Shout-outs.
Mr. Chairman. Oh, go ahead.
Commissioner McMurray.
First.
Commissioner James.
I know we've got another plan for next month, but I did want to shout out at this point to thank our utilities for what they did over the week of ice and snow that we had. We could have very easily turned into our neighbors over here in Nashville, and I'm very grateful for that. So I wanted to make sure they got the recognition for the hard work they did in preparation and during. So.
There have been numerous shout-outs. Sonia Stevenson was one of them, but in committees, repeated over and over again for the yeoman work that was done during the ice storm and the snow that followed. So thank you. Other shout-outs?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. I would like to give two quick shout-outs. First, I apologize. I forgot to give the shout-out to Tequila's Mexican restaurant from our last meeting last month. A lot of you participated in that, so we want to say thank you for them for sending the meal for our last meeting. And then also for this month, I have, Trey hasn't tried it already, give a shout out to Georgia Pecan, however you want to say it, to Curtis Riggins and his wife. They're the owners. It's African-American owned. So they sent us a few chess pies, some chocolate chess, and some pecan pies. So it's just spotlighting a local small black business. So there will be some in the conference room for you all to try out if you want to. So I just want to give them a spotlight and appreciation to say thank you.
Just to follow up with that shout out, if you'll notice these little Reefs cups here that we have, these are our energy boosters for us if we go late into the night. And it's always Commissioner Serino who supplies us with whatever we need to get us through whatever meeting we have. So once again, every time we meet, you'll see some of these things on your desk, and it comes from the Commissioner in the 21st District, Commissioner Serino. Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Oliver.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to shout out the mayor of Laverne, Tennessee, Mayor Jason Cole, for stepping up and representing the citizens and facilitating action from NES during the ice storm.
Others? Gentlemen, don't forget Saturday, okay? Don't forget
ladies.
Saturday. Put something on your big toe so you'll remember it when you get out of bed. It's an important day for certain members of your family. So with that, happy Valentine's Day. And I do appreciate your attendance, your time, and your participation tonight. We are adjourned.